Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. My name is Andrew, coming to you from beautiful Costa Rica. Tonight's topic is going to be the questions we ask ourselves in the aftermath. Think about that for a minute. Guys, if you like the content, please subscribe. So the narcissistic relationship is over. And when it ends, virtually from the minute it ends, up until and including probably right now, you may be asking yourself questions, many questions, because you're looking for answers and you want to know many things. But what you really want to know in the beginning is, what happened? Did I do everything I possibly could? Did I work hard in the relationship? Was it my fault? Am I going crazy? Who was that person? Did this just take place? Who does these kind of things? These are just some of the questions that you will be presented with, and you'll be thinking about them for quite a while. Now, through time and with education, you do get the answers. You get many of the answers you're looking for. One thing you'll never get is closure from the narcissist. We do know that. And if you're new on the channel, please watch some other videos. Closure is something you're not going to get from the narcissist. So please don't look for it from them. I know you want to. You believe that they have all the answers and they're the cure for the way you're feeling. And I know it's tough love. It's difficult for you to understand this, but they're not. They're not going to provide any closure for you. And we can get into that in a different video. But the point is, in the aftermath of the relationship, you're thinking about all these things. Like, mainly, was it my fault? How could I have been fooled? What happened? What went wrong? Who was this person? Did they actually love me? Did they care about me? Are they thinking about me? All these things. And we're going to take a couple of these questions one by one right now. First of all, was it your fault? Meaning the narcissistic relationship. Excuse me. No, it wasn't your fault. And the reason why I can say that with confidence and assuredness is because you were duped, you were manipulated, you were taken advantage of. You were in a relationship with a narcissist. Number one, you did not know that a narcissist existed. Number two, you certainly didn't know that you were in a relationship with a narcissist. And number three, remember, the narcissist wore a mask. They fooled you, they duped you, they tricked you. They manipulated you and the circumstances each and every moment of that relationship. You see, there was no love, there was no sincerity, there was no genuineness. It was constantly you being treated less than, invalidated, stonewalled, gaslit. Yes, of course, there were some good moments. I agree. I admit that wholeheartedly. But were they genuine moments? That's another question you may even ask yourself. Looking back, I'm changing gears now, but looking back at some of the pictures on the vacations and the birthdays and everything you had, if you look at the narcissist, like were they present? Were they really here? Were they there? Were they thinking about someone else? What were they doing? Like, was this whole thing just a show for X number of years? Was any of it real? And it makes you wonder. It really does. There will be a litany of questions that will cross your minds. Getting back to, was it your fault? No, it wasn't your fault. Absolutely not. You probably, most likely, worked on the relationship harder than you've worked on any relationship in your entire life. And I do mean that. Why did I say that? I'll tell you why. Because with most relationships, you don't have to work. They just come naturally. And it's an even fit. It flows. Like your brother, sister, mom, dad, relative, neighbor, coworker. If they're healthy people, it's just a normal relationship. Sorry, I don't like to use that word normal. It's a healthy relationship. But with a narcissistic relationship, you were working. You were on the clock 24/7 working for the relationship, for the narcissist. And as I mentioned, on each and every day, you were working harder and harder. You see, what had worked day one certainly wasn't going to work day 100. No, your boundaries were being crushed and you were being pushed to the limits and you didn't know it. You had no idea, but now you do. Other questions you may ask yourself are like, why me? Like, what did I do to deserve this? The truth of the matter is, I can answer this one also. You're a beautiful, bright, shining light. You're an empath, most likely. And you were certainly naive. You were, because I was. And you were taken advantage of by someone who knew what they were doing and who knew how to manipulate you and knew how to, let's say, take advantage of all of your kindness. You're being naive. And things like that. They knew it. They're masters of it. And they wore that mask, and they fooled you, and they duped you. And they made you see what you wanted to see was essentially a reflection of yourself. That's exactly how it is. Another question you may ask yourself is, did they ever love me? Now, guys, you may have different takes on this, but my take is no, they didn't ever love you, because I firmly believe the narcissist is incapable of love. I stand by that. They may have faked it. They may have, in public, may have gotten in the pictures with the big smile and all these great things, and for supply, so people think that they're a great person. But we both know, if you're honest with yourself, when that front door closed and you were with the narcissist, many times, no, It was you being abused, whether you knew it or not. Gaslighting, triangulation, all the things. Why did they do that? Because they could. So, excuse me, did the narcissist love you? I sincerely don't believe they ever did. And I'm not trying to get anybody in a bad spot. I'm just letting you know from my experience. The next thing is, why would they do this? Why? Like, who does this? Well, let's go back to square one. It is a narcissist you are with. And the narcissist, how they regulate is by getting supply from other people's emotions, mainly grade A sources of supply, such as yourself. They are looking for people to give them reactions, to make them feel like they actually are worth something on this planet. You see, they can't regulate their emotions the way you do, and they just can't do it. They need other people to validate themselves. This is 100% true. So that's what they did. Another question would be like, was any of it real? Like, was any of this real? Now, for you, yes, the relationship was real. Why? Because you lived it, and you were probably in love, and you were doing everything you possibly could, and you were contributing. For the narcissist, I mean, yeah, they were physically there, but were they mentally there? Or actually, I should say, maybe many times they weren't physically there. I mentioned it many times, like if the narcissist was with you at a dinner or on the couch or in a car, there's a great chance they're texting and not even paying attention to a word you're saying, and they're tuning you out. And your purpose of that is just to be around, just to keep them company. But you never knew it because you were thinking you were in a loving, healthy relationship. So the questions will continue, and they will continue. And the more education you get and the more answers you get, the more questions you may have. Now, eventually these questions dissipate, and you're feeling comfortable with yourself, and you're good, and you have most of the answers. But when you dig down the rabbit hole and you really educate yourself more and more, you will find that, like, there are different layers to this onion that you need to peel back to understand just who you were with. Another question you may ask yourself is, when a discard first happened, is why aren't they talking to me? And the reason there is because they want you to leave you in a fog. They want to leave your head spinning. They want it to leave you feel like you have nowhere to turn, and you're isolated, and you're alone, and you're broken. You're destitute every way possible. You have no more things to offer them or anybody, meaning you have no resources. You have no more network of friends because you were probably given the smear campaign. You were invalidated. You were just left like a piece of paper crumbled up, thrown away in the trash can. And did they do this on purpose? Absolutely. That's why I mentioned a few minutes ago, they'll never give you closure. It's because when the narcissistic relationship ends, and if you were discarded, and if you were, my heart goes out to you. But if you were, they want to leave you in that fog. They want to leave you just like clamoring for the narcissist. They want you believing that the narcissist is the only person that can validate you and help you get the answers that you're looking for and closure, of which none is true. The narcissist will never give you closure. They will never give you any answers you're looking for. Again, I know it's kind of difficult to understand, but it's true. So more questions would be like, did the narcissist ever, like why did they have to do this? And I mentioned it's to regulate, but more importantly, it was to regulate because of you. You see, the narcissist doesn't just go after any person. They go after a grade A supply of human being, which means a person that has a lot to offer, specifically empathy, kindness, love, compassion, all the beautiful traits that we discuss on this channel. And those are the attributes that you certainly had and you certainly do possess now. These are attributes the narcissist doesn't have. Now, they can fake it and act like they're loving and kind and all that stuff. Of course they can, because they're professionals. They wear the mask and they do that. And I'm not suggesting they walk around all day miserable. I am suggesting that they're not authentic. They don't have the beauty, the inner light that you have. They just don't have it. That's why they targeted you, and that's why they did exactly what they did. So the questions will mount, and you will get answers over time, and you will become educated and aware, and you will really, sincerely become more knowledgeable on not only the topic of narcissism, but your exact relationship and situation. And this will empower you. It will help you out. It will help you to move to the next step of phase of your life, which is growing and moving forward. But the narcissistic relationship, keep in mind, all of these questions that you ask yourself each and every day or whenever you did it, like especially when the narcissistic relationship ends, that's when you're really in the fog and you're really not in a good spot. And again, for those of you that are there, I understand, and my heart goes out to you. I'm with you. It's extremely, extremely difficult. I understand. But think about this for a moment. When you're doing all this questioning and wondering and why, and you basically, what you're doing is you're trying to discover who you were with, which is a narcissist. This whole time, what is the narcissist doing? That's right. They're getting new supply, or already are with new supply, or multiple sources of supply. You see, they're not educating themselves because there's no reason to, because they knew the game that they were playing the whole time. You never knew. It was a one-sided game to them, the game of relationship manipulation. And they duped us, they fooled us, they tricked us, they trapped us, they devastated us, and then they crumbled us up like a sheet of paper and threw us away. That's what they did. And that's why you need to get all these answers, and you need to get all of the facts and educate yourself, because the narcissist doesn't do this. Like I mentioned on other videos, the narcissist just does this: rinse, wash, repeat. They move forward to the next person, they put on a new mask for the new person, and get all the attributes out of that person. And that's what they do. That's how it works with the narcissist. So now we have the education. Many of us are enlightened and empowered and moving forward. Many of us are still, this is still fresh for us, and we're still going through it. I understand it's not easy, it's not difficult, but you need to put the time in to yourself. And you need to understand that education will come through you. It's not like you can talk to just an average human being about narcissism. They're not going to get it. They're not going to understand it. Few therapists will get it. And I'm not suggesting to not go to therapy. I'm not saying that. I'm saying if you pick out a therapist, be prepared and do your homework to make sure that they know what they're talking about. And it's kind of tricky, because if you were just discarded, chances are you don't even know it's narcissism, and you don't even know how to go about those steps to find a therapist that knows about narcissism, because that's exactly what I tried to do, and it didn't work. It doesn't mean it won't work for you. So guys, I'm going to close the video up, but I want to let you know the questions that you ask yourself in the aftermath of the narcissistic relationship. There are many. And each and every day, it is my hope that on my channel and many others that you're getting the education and the answers that you're looking for, because you see, the narcissist will never give you those answers. They won't give you closure. And we both know that now. It's up to you to keep your bright light shining, to move forward, put the narcissist in the past, and be the best version of yourself. Guys, I hope you liked the video. I love doing it from beautiful Costa Rica. This is Andrew. God bless you. Namaste. Please be blessed. Have a great evening, and I will talk to you in the morning. I love you all very much. Good night.